nature. No, I live in nature. I love nature and I protect it. And all our jamboree was done in forest, in Kahuzi-Biega forest especially, and sometime in the forest around that protected area. So it's there I take taste of nature, because since I was a child I can meet vegetables, I can meet some animals like chimpanzees and gorillas, and I grew up like this, and I take the taste of nature. But the second reason is the unfairness with which the court was handled poachers' fight. You see, everywhere you hear about human rights, and when a ranger arrests a poacher, civilian society, population says that rangers are not good men because they arrest a poacher who went in the forest only to look for something. 5 minutes after this, you see the poacher walking in the village, as if he doesn't do anything wrong. But when the ranger arrests a poacher, it's a problem. But when they kill animals and rangers, you don't find anybody come to say that there is a human right which is spoliated. It's why I decide to meet the rangers group, so I can see if I can finally become a defender of the right of rangers and animals. In summary, it's the two reasons which does me to finally end up in the conservation of nature.
Excellent. I absolutely love that. I mean, you've got quite a long history and career in conservation. I mean, more than 30 years. And you're an international expert and specialist in the protected area management. Can you talk to us a little bit about this side of your work and how you use your knowledge to help protected areas?
Okay, as you said, it's right. Now I think that this year is my 37th year in conservation, and I started in the low level of conservation, like a secretary, till I met the rank of director. In my country, it's the final rank in the conservation. It means that I start like a secretary, a simple secretary, and I grow up all the step to be a director. And it's like this. Finally, I become a director, and I manage 3 big national parks and World Heritage Site in my country. I was in Kahuzi-Biega National Park as a director. No, it's there I start my work. After this, they sent me at RFO. RFO is Okapia Reserve, Forest Reserve, Okapia. And after this, they sent me in Lomami, the newest park, where I spent 1.5 years. It's how I try to become a big baobab in conservation. And another thing, it's I create a friend nature club, so I can connect young people on the nature. Because as you will see when you will get a chance to read my book, some people think that the conservation is impossible in our African country, because we we faced many problems. But I think that if I can create a natural friends club to connect small child to nature, they will grow like me as I grow in Scout movement. And after this, maybe I can how to create 100 radar after me. You see, and it's one now. It's a long. I think 4 years ago, I created that Friend Nature clubs, and I create also a conservation a consultancy company. So I think that in the two way I can share my experience with children, but also with somebody who have my how we call this age in French, mon âge. That's okay. It's that story. I become now an expert, an international expert. It means that the experiences I gather in DRC, I said, if I can't share it with other people, it's like it's a shame. Yeah. So I decided to create two things in which I think I can share in my experiences with my generation, but also with the small generation, which is growing. Because now we say future generation, but we don't know who is the future generation. But I think that the future generation can be our children today, but the also which is not coming yet. But if we can try to train our children, for me, it's the only way we can think that tomorrow conservation can continue.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. And I love the fact that you have such a positive story of starting from the bottom and managing to work your way right to the top. So it just goes to show that hard work and dedication really does pay off. So also you do a lot of work with anti-poaching and that kind of work too. It's extremely hard work. It's in very dangerous situations. How do you prepare yourself and your team during operations and then after the operations as well?
Okay, I think that the preparation is first a psychological preparation. As a chief of army or a group of rangers, you have yourself to prepare yourself before, psychologically. And I remember that when I want to go on the field, sometimes I left my house every Monday to come back on a Friday each week. And when I leave my house, I told to my wife, if I don't come back, it means that that's all for me. Stay praying for me, because now I went to fight. You know, in Congo, we spend a lot of time to fight and not to protect nature. Sometimes you find some poacher with the solid guns than the rangers. It means that when you go on the field, you are not sure that you will come back. So you have to prepare the family psychologically and yourself too, before to meet your team and to organize how to enter in the forest. This it's concerning myself. But when I meet my team, I have to remember them what we said when we enter the group. We said that we'll die for the country, we'll die for the nature. It means that today we'll have to enter in the forest. Two ways are in front of us. to die or to still alive. It means that if we still alive, we will praise the God. If we die, we done our job. And after this, we take a small moment to pray together. And after this, somebody have to take his gun and after other things to go in the forest. But there is a secret when you want to enter the forest. You have to know first what's the threat you want to resolve. After this, you have to locate them. Where is the threat? After locating them, you have to know the modus operandi of the poachers. So you will have to bring the things which can allow you to fight against the poachers. And you need for that a good trained service of intelligentsia. More detail about how we do on the field, I can't develop it on social because it's to give the way to the poachers. But in summary, it's you have to prepare yourself psychology, you prepare your family, and you prepare your group. And after this, you enter the forest. And if you have a good service of intelligentsia, you will win the fight.
Thank you so much for all the work you guys are doing, because I understand it's truly a difficult job and you're literally putting your life on the line to protect our wildlife. So thank you so much. Typically, when people are poaching, what sort of animals are they going after?
You say as a member of a community?
No, what animals are they poaching?
You see, when they enter the forest, every animal they find, they kill. Huh? They are looking for something to eat or something to go to sell. They don't choose. They don't know that one is protected animals or no. No. When they enter, if they can kill the ranger, they have no word to kill anymore. But the parks I had to manage, we was protected gorilla, western gorilla, eastern gorilla, and in Okapia Reserve Forest we have okapi, which is not found everywhere in the world, only in DRC. And Lomami, in Lomami we have 4 animals, rare animals we don't find everywhere in the world, only in DRC. Yeah. You see that the challenge was so big, and we tried with the benediction of God, we tried to do something in the 3 national parks where I manage as a director, but I worked also in the others national park they kill every animal they see in front of them.
Okay, that's really interesting. Thank you for sharing. You touched on it a little bit earlier, but typically, how are rangers seen by the community?
You see, many of our national parks in Africa were created by the colonialists. So one part of people think that rangers came to spoliate their lands because they are not allowed to go there to look for I don't know what medicine leaves and other things. They think that we are there only to not allow them to go to look for some resources inside. That's one group. But there is another group which consider rangers like the protectors. I can show an example of my country. In Kahuzi-Biega, in lowland part of Kahuzi-Biega, we haven't much soldiers there, but only rangers was there. And when militia came to destroy villages, it's rangers who protect the population against militia. There is a group which thinks that we are not good, but there is another one who say that no, we need rangers because they protect us against militia, rebels, and other things. Yeah.
Okay. And typically as well, what's the community attitudes towards wildlife? Is it something they appreciate, or is it just, do they have any interaction with the wildlife?
No, since 1985, we introduced a new approach in DRC to integrate development of villages in conservation. So we made many strategies with community, and today I can say that we succeeded because all strategies and approach we produced in Kahuzi-Biega in 1985, today all these approaches and strategies are used in all the Democratic Republic of Congo, either in Central Africa. Now we are like the pioneer of this approach in Central Africa, and many persons came in our national park to learn about how to conciliate population interest to conservation interest. It means that today, you know, in each society, you have people who sometimes are not agree with what you are doing. But today we can say 45% or 50% of communities understand now that to protect nature is an advantage for all the communities, but not only for rangers, because we try when we recruit some rangers, we go into villages and we call the chief of villages to give us some young people who want to come and become rangers. Since that time, when you know that your child is a ranger, you work with the director of the community, because you know my son is there too, and we try to make a sensitization also to see how to integrate or slowly bring communities into conservation with the rangers.
I mean, you're doing a great job, so well done for that. It's an incredible story.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
You mentioned earlier, and I'd love to hear a little bit more about it, but you mentioned that you're writing a book. Can you talk to us about what this book is about? And we also have a question from Stacey Saddlefield from the US, asking if it's going to be available in America.
Okay, about my book, yes, I'm writing my book. You know why? Because I know there is a proverb who says a success without a successor is a really failure. Yeah. So I say, I know something in my head, but when I will die, what about everything I have in my head? It means that if I die, I lose everything. All my experiences is lost. Or I want to connect young to the nature. So I decided to write a book. It's not my biography, but it's my lessons learned during 37 years in conservation. My success and my failure, and how I try to transform my failure to opportunities. So the young who will come after me can have the line dressed before them. And now I'm writing this book, but I'm looking for a printer now. And I think if God is with me, next year I will publish it with my doctoral thesis, because I'm also doing another thesis of doctor. And next week I'll finish my thesis, and I will share my thesis and my book together.
Amazing. I mean, I'm definitely...
I advise everybody to read it. I think that I don't have, maybe I can't mention everything inside, but the small part of things I tell in this book can be a help for all the world.
I think it's going to be an absolute amazing legacy. And we've already got some comments coming through as well, saying that it's a great idea. And they really hope that the book's going to be available in Europe and in America, so everyone can learn from your experiences.
Yeah, say to Melanie that the book will be available in Europe, in America, and in Africa.
Excellent. Well, I'll be following you to see when that gets published.
But I see Adriano say he can wait to read it. He thinks that is so old, or what?
He thinks what, sorry?
No, but maybe he thinks that he's very old, so the book will come later, or not?
I think he just thinks it sounds brilliant, really exciting.
It's another way to say that I'm waiting for the book. Do quickly.
Exactly. We want it published. We want to read it.
Yeah.
Adrian's laughing. He's saying that he's only 54.
You see, he's 54. It means he's his big brother, because I have 60 now. Yeah.
I mean, we can't talk about anything at the minute without touching on how COVID has impacted the wildlife industry. How has it impacted your work? Have you seen an increase in poaching? What sort of things are you seeing?
Yeah, you see, we got many problems with the COVID, because first they said that the origin of COVID is animals, wild animals, and everybody was now wanting to see us, because they thought that as we work with the animals, it's us who are sharing the virus. But we can say like this: everywhere tourism was effective, now we can't have tourists, and it's become so difficult for us, because not only we can generate money ourselves, but the country who come who help us also have economical problems. So it becomes very, very difficult sometime. I know that we have some national park which haven't support since now, and it becomes very difficult for us to make a group of people without excellent how we call this means of sanitation.
Yeah.
So it's very, very difficult, very, very complicated. And I thought that it will be better to think about rangers who are protected all the world.
Yeah.
But the way they are managing rangers, every day in my book I try to show the link between nature, human, and the future generation, which everybody speak about. I think that we are lying future generation. If you want to protect nature, you have to protect first the protector of nature. But you see money gathered, they say this is for conservation. But there is, I make an assessment in in 2015 to try to show the salary of rangers in Central Africa. No, It's not, you can't imagine somebody who leave his house and say, I go there to protect for all the world. At the end of the month, he gets $15, $20, or $30 as a salary. Are we protected in nature? Surely, I think that people have to think protection in another way. And to protect exactly the nature, we have first to protect the protector, which is the rangers.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I mean, the work rangers do has an impact on every single person's life, whether or not people even realize just how important their role is. So we mentioned earlier that you've got 37 years in the industry. What advice would you give to future conservationists that are looking at you as an inspiration and want to do something with their career in conservation? What advice would you give them?
I don't understand very well your question. Can you repeat again?
No problems. For those who are wanting to get into conservation, what advice would you give to them?
As the one who want to meet our team of rangers?
If they want to become a ranger, for example.
Oh, all this is written in my book. But I can say like this. People think that the rangers' work is impossible. That's not true. It's difficult, but not impossible. And we have some, I don't know how we call this in French, levier. It means that I took the negative form of the perception of conservation, and I tried to show people how we can do to convert negative things to positive things. And I think that now I'm an ambassador of the Rangers of Central Africa, as the president of, also a president of the Rangers of my country. And all things I'm doing now, it's a lobbying. It's why I told you that I make a friend club, a friend nature club, so I can connect young people to nature. And I think that when I am...
Oh, I think the connection's gone a bit for Radar here, so hopefully it will be able to reconnect in a moment. So we'll just give him a few minutes. I can see that a few people are asking some questions, and we are going to be putting these questions to Radar. So if you want to put some questions into the towards Radar, then pop it into the comments section, and I will do my best to put that towards him. So we'll just give him a few minutes to see if we can get him to log back in. If you bear with me 1 second, I will message him now just to make sure his connection's okay. Well, we've got some really nice questions coming through, so thank you so much for that. We've got some lovely comments, and lots of people are incredibly supportive of the work that he's doing and the work that people are doing around the world to protect wildlife. As Radar mentioned, it's so important for people to connect with what the work rangers are doing, because the rangers are the people that are helping to keep all our wildlife and wild spaces alive. And without them, then we don't have anything. So please do support the work that they're doing. There's lots of incredible organizations that are working alongside Radar to help. One of which is actually Game Rangers Association of Africa, of which he is a member. So please do check out their page, and we will, they also support rangers around the world. So I can see Radar coming back into the stream. Let me just bring him in. Here we go. Hey, Radar,
Okay.
we lost.
I apologize for this, Kathleen. We don't have only a poaching problem, but we have also many problems of electricity in Africa. So we face problems. We face many problems. You see now, today with COVID, you have only to communicate through internet. But you find the other parts which don't have communication. All of these make us not in good mind, because you have every day, every time, each time you have a problem to resolve, and it become very. I was saying that today I have to make all my effort so that I can connect some young people to the nature. As I told you, you can have a success, but if you have nobody to continue your success, it means that you failed. You failed. And my combat today is to have. I congratulate God, because today I have four juniors in DRC, and in 3 years I earn 3 juniors in Guinea. It means that even if I die today, I know that I have 7 persons who will continue with my philosophy. And I said every day to my children, even if I die tomorrow, I know that radar is going to rest, but radar is still alive, because I have 7 persons who will continue our fight against poaching.
I love that. I think it's so important to share the knowledge and get other people inspired as well. Okay, so yeah. I only have one more question left, Radar. And if anyone back home is watching, as I mentioned, if you do have a question that you want to put towards him, then pop it into the comments section and I will do exactly that for you. But Radar, for me, I always like to highlight the positives. As you say, there's a lot of sometimes despair in conservation, that it's just too big a problem to solve. So I like to highlight the successes. What is your favorite success story?
Well, I have another problem. Somebody is calling me because we are managing many problems.
That's the beauty of life.
But let me, okay. Yeah, it's not easy, but okay, you asked me if I have some advice or question?
No, your favorite success story. Oh, looks like
it's not easy. Can you repeat your question or your preoccupation?
Of course. What's your favorite success story? I'll put it in the WhatsApp.
Some success. I have many things to say, but let me speak about two main success.
As you can see, he has been suffering from some internet problems. It's the beauty of lives, is you can connect to people all around the world, but sometimes the internet doesn't want to play ball. So hopefully he'll be able to come back in. Let me see if we can wait for a second. I see that we all have a question as well from Kisito. So I will pop that to him if hopefully he can come back in. So if you just give us a couple of seconds, hopefully the Wi-Fi will start being nice to us again. And thank you everyone back home for watching. As I say, you've been very supportive, lots of lovely comments coming through, lots of nice stories, lots of support. So thank you so much. And if you've been enjoying the interview today, please do check out What Does the Giraffe Say Media on the Facebook page. And we have many different interviews with different people around the world, all working in conservation. So please do check us out and like, comment and share. And also please do like, comment and share on all of the posts and videos that we've been doing. The more people that can watch, the more awareness we can raise for the work that people are doing in conservation. So we'll just see if we're going to give Raja a couple of more minutes and hopefully he can come in. I can see as well more questions coming through, so it'd be such a shame if we can't actually put them towards him. So yeah, if you could just give us a little while. I think I can see him trying to log back in as we speak. So hopefully we'll get him back on in a second. I see we've got another question coming through as well from Melanie Wolf. So thank you so much for that, Melanie. We will be trying to put that towards him. We'll just give it a couple more seconds, and then if not, we'll have to wrap it up. But what I can do is put these questions to him afterwards, and he can respond. Let me just see. Okay, here we go. Hopefully this is going to work. There we go. We got you back again.
Yes, I'm back. Any problem of a connection here, but we try. Okay.
So you were telling us your favorite.
I don't know if you have another question. I'm there.
Okay. Let me bring up the questions that we've got so far. Bear with me 1 second.
Please.
Yeah. So we have a question saying, which difference do you find after your 2 years?
I don't hear.
Oh. Can you see the question on the bottom?
I started in the Kahuzi-Biega National Park are now the national strategy of my country. It means that I didn't lose my time to write that strategy. And I say thank you very much to my colleague who worked with me. DRC and 3 in Guinea. I think that one is also another success story, because your children is not only the one you get biologically, but if scientifically you can get other one where you are working. I think that one is also a success story.
Absolutely, yes.
There is a question.
Yep. So they're asking, which difference do you find after your 2 years?
I think that DRC is a school of conservation in Africa. Because when I arrived here, I saw that we are doing something like conservation. As I told you, it means that all strategy I made in Congo is the one I'm sharing with Guinea now. And I try just only to adapt that strategy with the context of Guinea. But my friend Kizito Musubao, who worked with Dr. Be sure that you are in advance in many countries in Africa I visited. And there is a big difference, but you have to know also that even if you are in advance, you have to continue to be in advance. If not, Guinea will reach you not far, and maybe you can be expert, because now I am in Guinea and I'm working hardly to see if Guinea can meet Kahuzi-Biega National.
Okay, we have another question.
Kizito, you are following us.
Yes, follow. We have another question asking how the international community can support African Rangers.
Okay, Melanie, I think that I tried to speak about this. Yes. Who is the international community? Even Africa is international community. But I think that people try to think that international community is only European, American, or Asian people. We are in international community. But I think everyone have a part of things to do. If I take my country, DRC, we have 160 protected area, but we don't have a school of conservation. This one is not a problem of international community. I think that each country have first to try to make something in his country before to see all the world. If I take Guinea have four school of conservation, but when we recruit rangers on the road, and we leave out the student who follow it conservation school. I don't understand. There is something. I think that this one can be a session when rangers can discuss, maybe ask to Gra to see if one day we can try to discuss this matter in a session, a technical session. But as I said, when you will read my book, we understand something. There is a 4 actors in conservation: community, rangers, society, civil, and what we call community, international community. International community say, I will give you money to protect for all generation. All generation, what it means? All generation or future generation. We have to define that future generation, because when I try to understand how much money is spent in conservation and how many money arrived on the field, you will cry like I cry in my book. But this is not a problem. It means that there is a problem and men have to try to of us have a responsibility in this. When we have to show this responsibility, to know why we don't arrive.
Oh dear, his Wi-Fi is gone again by the looks of it. Okay. Well, it looks like we've put most of the questions towards him. And thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. So we're going to wrap things up now. Again, as I said, please do like, comment, and share on our posts because it does help to spread the word of the conservation work we're doing. And I'm sure that, like me, you'd like to thank Radar for coming on the show. I can see him trying to come back in. 1 second. There we go.
Yeah, I'm back. Okay, I said that we have to discuss about this. I think that is not only community, international community who have to do something, but we can have some school in each country, and we try. You know, today, for example, we are using European method of conservation. That is not adapted to Africa. It means that sometimes we have to sit and to see what is the problem in Africa, and to try to have African solution to African problems. It means that here in Africa you can come with the gun. We saw in 2004 in Congo. There is Le Mai came and tried. You can try to kill them with gun, but you can't succeed. Huh? It means that the gun is not the solution for this, and we have to discuss seriously about this, so we can try to look for solution which is adapted. As I said, the technical of anti-poaching system are not learned at school. No, it's on the field we learn technique of anti-poaching system. If you think that you are graduated, you are doctor, you will come in Congo and try to resolve anti-poaching in DRC protected area. That's not true. Huh? Sometimes we come with our training of soldiers or our big diploma. You think that when I'm doctor like Radar, I will go there and resolve the problem. That's not true. We have to have time to stay on the field and to, as I say, you have now to detect the threats. After this, you locate them. After locating them, who is doing this threat on conservation? After this, we discuss and we have a solution. Solution can come with, yes, international community give us the guidelines how to do, but veritable solution come on the field. I'm convinced because I tried it 37 years ago, and I can defend this opinion.
Yeah, I do actually agree with you. So yeah. What we'll finish up now, Radar. Thank you so much for coming on and for persevering despite the Wi-Fi issues. Is there anything you'd like to say before we go?
No, just to say that I love so much everybody. I love nature, but people must do attention. It means that human have to pay attention, because human is the last creature of God. It means that is the elder brother of all of creature. If you, I'm Christian, and I will use an example in Bible. When God creates He creates the light and the darkness. After this, He creates animals and other things, the nature. And after the sixth day, He creates the man, on which He gave all knowledge how to manage other creature of nature. But after this, you know what you are living now? It's the same man to whom God gave intelligence, how we call this in English. It's the same man who build guns, who are killing animals, who are doing everything which is not true. He forgot that he is the elder brother of all the things in the nature. We can't continue to do things like this. We have to stop some time and try to understand that one day the nature will avenge his nature. Okay.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Adan. Thank you so much for coming on. I've absolutely loved hearing your stories. And we can't wait to see your book. I know I, for one, will be getting the book for sure. So thank you again. And thank you everyone back home for watching. But from me, enjoy the rest of your day.
Okay, thank you very much. It's me who say so much thanks. And I think that I still be free every day when you think that we can share some experiences in nature conservation. We are there, we still be there. Ciao, ciao, Kath. Thank you very much.
Thank you. See you later. Bye-bye.
In Central Africa, we